Hello, my name is Kiriath, and it is Monday, which means it is, of course, time to get freaky. That's not true, it's just time for a Monday Ramble. I suppose you can if you want to. Do what you like, do it on a Monday. No one can stop you, unless it's illegal, although I don't know why it would be illegal. I don't even know really what we're specifically talking about. Let's just have a look at the stuff that we've got to have a look at. How about that? So, in terms of preview stuff, there's not really all that much. So, Warhammer Plus is launching this week. If you were going to go for it, then it's going to be a thing. If you're not going to go for it, then that's going to be totally irrelevant to you, which that's generally how things work. But yeah, if you need a refresher, essentially what you get is you get both the apps. You get like the Warhammer TV stuff, you get the animation, you get the access to the vault and VIP tickets to things, and the 2 miniatures as well. I have to admit, I know several people personally who just don't even care about the rest of it. They just want the miniatures, which, I mean, if you wanted to, what's the legality of that? I don't know if I'm just now immediately gone full scalper. Are you allowed to sell them? I mean, they're not going to come around your house and stab you, are they? I mean, they might do. You don't know. They might have a hit squad. Allegedly. Look, I'm not actually accusing Games Workshop of having a hit squad that will show up to your house and stab you if you sell the exclusive miniature that you get through Warhammer Plus on eBay. I'm not suggesting that's a thing. It might be a thing, but it's not. It's definitely not. Don't sue me for something that I've said isn't the case. Unless it is the case, in which case they could sue because I've said that something isn't real when it actually is. Can you get sued for that? Allegedly. Let's just use the word allegedly. Let's just move on and pretend that never happened. So yeah, new animations, all of that stuff. We kind of know what the deal is with Warhammer Plus at this point. We've talked about it a couple of times. There's been plenty of articles about it. There's the preview animation that you put up. Well, not the preview. You had free access to Old Baelai. It's fine. It was alright. It was okay. And that was like over the weekend, but it was only for 24 hours. So now if you want to watch that again, you'll have to pay for it. Quite a significant discount paying for the whole year. Well, I say quite significant. Not that significant, actually. It's like £10 off, so not hugely significant. But still, that is a thing. Yeah, that seems to be the main gist of it for the preview this time around. We've got some Warhammer Underworlds stuff. So there's the expansion for Diachasm, which is Arena Mortis, and there's also it is updated. It's coming back. It was already a thing, but it's coming back with a fresh rule set for the most recent season. So yeah, there's also some dice, garish, hideous. Those are the combination of colours there is just eye bleeding to me. It's too much. It's too much yellow and green. Yellow, perfectly fine colour, if you like bananas. Green, great colour. The mixture of the two in that specific way, not my thing, not my deal. A little bit too ripe banana and lime kind of combination going on there. So yeah, you can buy those if you want. They're kind of hideous, but you do have the option available to you. There's also from Forge World the Imperial Fist Praetors that we saw. I don't know how many months ago is this now. I think these were shown off before Argyle Tal was shown off, and Argyle Tal was a good couple of months ago, which I assume means that he's next up on the list. Interestingly, I can't remember whether they did this in the Legion Dispatch or not, but they've said that the first is bedecked in intricately decorated Mark III power armour. That is correct, that's Mark III power armour. While the other dons some pretty colossal Cataphractii Terminator armour, which that just isn't that's Tartarus. There's a fairly distinctive, like chest shape going on, and also the legs are fairly different as well. Admittedly, he does have a lot of ornamentation. There's a lot of ornamentation going on there, which kind of does blur the line in a way. I mean, the ornate shoulders do have a bit of a Cataphractii look to it, but that's not what it actually is. And this is a small thing, right? This is not like a massive kind of, oh my god, someone needs to get fired kind of mistake. It's really not that important. It doesn't matter. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like with these articles and anything that is like a direct company to consumer communication, which is what this stuff is, it needs to be accurate. Like, it at the very least needs to be accurate if it's a certain type of armour. Because if it was just a case of, oh, well, the name of it is wrong, but it has no impact on what the thing does actually in the game system it's meant for, then it really wouldn't matter even less than it already does, I guess. But it does have an impact. It does change what that thing does in the game. And so I feel like just that accuracy... It doesn't feel like a high bar, to be honest. It doesn't feel like a high bar, but it's missed it, you know? It's missed it, and it just bugs me a little bit more than it probably should. Because at the end of the day, anyone looking at this, most likely, is going to know what kind of armour that is. You're going to know, and you're going to be like, well, okay, that's not correct, but whatever. But if it's like an official communication from company to customer... showing you the thing that you can buy from them, I feel like that information needs to be accurate, and this isn't. You know? It's just a small thing, but yeah. It just kind of... I looked at it and went, well, that's not correct. Why has no one noticed that's not correct? Anyway. They look fine. They still look good. I still like them. That's still a solid shield. Yeah, it's a good-looking models. I'm not going to say they look bad. They don't look bad. But he just isn't wearing that kind of armour. Anyway, there's also... The Space Marine Legion Graviton gun set. Graviton. Graviton sounds like a solicitor's. Graviton and Son. Like that, I would go there for my legal counsel. Yeah, so there's these as well. I actually quite like these. There's a nice kind of charm to them. Relics from the ancient past. These frightening weapons turn their target's mass against itself, rupturing organic matter and ceramite alike. Yeah, not great to be hit with one of those. And there's also a bunch of Black Library stuff again as well. So we've got the Art of Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, and Warhammer Fantasy Battles. So if you're still a fantasy holdout, then stuff in there for you as well. You got Sanction and Sin as well, which is one of the Warhammer crime anthologies. Return of Nagash is a full-on audio book as well. And there's a new London store where you can get this lot. We've already looked at these. There's a new place where you can get them from. Perhaps if you know someone in London who can grab one for you if you haven't managed to get one yourself, then that could be a thing to explore if you really want them. Now, we do have... And there's this lot as well, normal stuff. And there's also a few models, right? There's a few models. So, new Ultramarines Legion Praetors. So the Legion Dispatch for today has got new Praetors for the Ultramarines as well. That is a fancy lad. My gut is Mark 3, but I'm going to go up and check to see whether it says, because that's very, very fancy. That's like, there's a lot of stuff going on the shins there, kind of covering up the knee. The chest feels quite Mark 3, but it's actually, I would argue, a little tricky to tell, although the backpack isn't... Or is that Mark 4? Is that Mark 4? Maybe that is Mark 4. Yeah, no, that is Mark 4, isn't it? Look at it. It does look good. I do like it. That also would not be out of place in a 40k army as well. Like, that really wouldn't. Bit of Volkite on the go there. And there's also the Terminator one as well. This one is Cataphractii. so this one is actually Cataphractii armour. With a double layer shoulders there with a tassel hanging down. Much prefer the helmet, unsurprisingly. Also, the helmet is pretty... It's pretty unchanged. It's not that heavily modified from the standard Cataphractii, which I quite like. I do like the little carved Ultramarine symbol in the bottom of the grille there. That's kind of cool. Overall, I quite like these two. I think they look pretty decent. I think they look okay. They are very regal. They are very fancy, quite over the top, which is pretty suitable for the Ultramarines. There's what is it? I can't remember the name of the book. Which really... No, it's The Unremembered Empire. Of course I can remember the name of the book. Where they end up... Spoiler alert. If you haven't read it, then this is not... Don't... Look, there's just a moment where Gilliman is talking to an Ultramarine and he tells him off basically for polishing his armour too much and said, "You're trying too hard." And the guy's like, I thought trying too hard was what we did. I really like that moment. Very on the nose, very self-aware. But yeah... It's very over the top, but I feel like that suits them quite well, to be honest. Yeah, good looking pair of lads, these. Helmets better than bare heads, of course. Especially the bare head on the Terminator. I don't know what's... got a very strong facial hair situation going on there. It's almost as though the facial hair is like... I was going to say, like, pushing out of his skin, but that's a stupid thing to say because that's literally what facial hair does. No, I mean like there's a severeness of line there. It's like the skin just becomes hair as opposed to it growing out of it. I think the helmet is definitely preferable to me personally for that one. But overall, I quite like them. Also, that looks like a solid axe. I'd like to get a proper look at that. Anyway, we also have some Middle-earth reveals as well, which, to be honest, there's a scenery kit in here. Well, there's a couple. This is going to be massively expensive, right? This is the Amon Hen. Help. Amon Hen? Amon Hen? Look, whatever. It's that. And I have to admit, I like that. That looks really cool. That would be a really nice bit of, like, centerpiece scenery for a table. It is resin, though, which means Forge World, most likely, which means also very, very expensive for, like, the size that it is. And, of course, it also means not modular in any way. Like, probably not going to be able to join it up with anything else. Like, what you see is what you get. What you see is nice, for sure, but there's not going to be a huge amount that you can do to it. But it does look good. And I have to admit, I do like the way they've painted this one as well. So yeah, if you remember the scene in Fellowship of the Ring where Aragorn took on an entire warband of Uruk-hai, not only was it a next level act of heroism, it bought Frodo time to escape their clutches. Well, the skirmish took place around the Seat of Seeing, atop the summit. So there you go. The Enchanted Throne in Darius was built by the great kings of old, and enables anyone who sits atop it to perceive impossible distances. Yeah, it looks good. There's also the new Witch King of Angmar, which I reckon looks really cool. I really like this. I have to admit, the Middle-earth miniatures have got a certain charm to them. They do look good. They're very different in style to what they do for 40k and for Age of Sigmar, especially with the shift from like Warhammer Fantasy to Age of Sigmar. The difference between the Middle-earth stuff and the like fantasy stuff they do now is even more pronounced. Except, I would argue, for the new Cruel Boys and Stormcast Eternals. Those have taken a distinct step back in terms of becoming a bit more grimdark again. And I feel like the Cruel Boys are definitely more of a like Lord of the Rings style orc in a way, or at least they're closer to that than the Orc war clans are, for instance. And that was a tangent. Anyway, I really like this. This looks really good. There's a nice level of detail. I especially like the way they've done the hooded version. That's really cool. And you can also have them on horseback or on foot, and with either head option, depending on how you want to depict the Witch King, which is really cool. It's really cool. I like that a lot. Does also mean you get like some cool like spares and stuff. I'd be really interested to see how the different heads and stuff fit together, because there are some pretty big differences in terms of like where the folds around the neck are. I wonder if it slots in, maybe? Because there's actually, looking at it, there's a shoulder plate that goes over one side. In fact, maybe over both. And I think the actual robe maybe closes around the head, because you've got the same fold on either side. Interesting. Huh. Well, I mean, I like the look of it a lot. Be interested to actually take a look at the sprue for that. Oh, I like that. That's nicely done. It's pretty seamless. So we also have a supplement, which is Fall of the Necromancer. I have to admit, don't know a huge amount about the where the game is in terms of like what part of the story or anything. Middle-earth is not my strong suit, to be honest. But yeah, there's going to be a new supplement for it, the Fall of the Necromancer, and with that comes this scenery. Now this looks great. Again, the name is probably going to be like massively mispronounced. Dol Guldur. The ruins of Dol Guldur. I have to say, this is a really nice bit of scenery. I like this a lot. I think they've done a great job with this. Again, this feels like kind of centerpiece material in a way. There's a nice amount of detail. There's like, yeah, there's just lots of nice little detail over it. I like the metal bars that are kind of going across the brickwork, kind of holding it together, and yeah, it's nice. It's a nice looking bit of kit that I really like it, and it's plastic. It's not resin. Yeah, so I get the like fully modular plastic kit. That is something I have to say that is super impressive about the Middle-earth scenery as a whole. It's super modular. Like, it can be put together in loads of different ways. I think the designer is Ray Dranfield, if I remember correctly. And he is some sort of wizard, like some sort of actual magician. The way that he designs scenery, and scenery kits. It's just crazy. The different like combinations that you can put together, like the fact that this is modular and it can be turned into like bigger buildings by combining multiple kits. Given the shape and style of it, that can't have been easy to pull off. And yeah, I've always been impressed by the Middle Earth scenery. So something like this, I can see myself actually getting something. Actually, probably getting one or two of these for like D&D and stuff, because I love the shape of it, the feel of it. It's great, like ruined castle material. Kind of fits a lot of the aesthetic that we tend to go for in D&D around here. So yeah, I really like it. I really like it. Now, to say it's not always the case, but I feel like a decent amount of Games Workshop scenery for like how modular it is more reasonably priced than some of their other stuff, you know? The quality is pretty consistently second to none, which is, I'm still, you know, building up the odd bit of Games Workshop scenery, because I think you do a decent job with it pretty much every time. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, hang on, wait, I hadn't noticed this. I hadn't realised this was in here. So, if you've ever thought about a mustering army of dwarfs led by King Dane Ironfoot and Thorin Stonehelm, alongside King Brandon Bartu, now's the time to start, yeah. Again, good-looking models. Good-looking models. I like them. Right, that's your lot. I'm going to go and continue building my Ender 3, which I started this afternoon, and then I got partway through, and I realised that I was missing a screw, and I couldn't work out why I was missing a screw. It made no sense. It said I had the right number of screws for how many I needed to use, and indeed, I had got the right number of screws. I'd got 4 of them, except that they were named the same as a different screw, but there was a number, like a letter after it, like a P after it. So I'd used the wrong screw for the wrong thing, then spent 45 minutes looking for the screw that I thought I'd lost, but actually was just attached to a different part of the thing, which I then just took off, put in the right place, and then realised, oh yeah, I gave myself a time limit for this, and I'm already over it. And I was hoping to have it done, and possibly even printing something by now. But no, it's still in pieces. Still in pieces. It might be good, and in fact I've been told by many people that it is good and that I'll get a lot of use out of it, especially doing terrain and possibly even tank related things, perhaps Imperial Guard tank related stuff. But dear God, having to assemble it yourself, I'm just not that guy. I'm not that guy. I struggle to assemble things that are already assembled. So that, just a disaster all round. Anyway, I'm going to go and get back to it. Let me know what you think of any of that stuff in the comments down below. Anything you're particularly looking forward to, anything you absolutely gagging for, frothing at the gash for, let me know in the comments. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you would like. You don't have to buy 40k stuff or Age of Sigmar stuff. Do Battletech, Kings of War, Malefo? I don't know how to pronounce it. Loads of stuff. Literally everything, pretty much. So you can do that if you like. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.